This was the moment the world saw something that hadn't happened in years. The reclusive Kim Jong-un leaving the safety and security of North Korea, getting off his luxury armored train, set to meet one of the most powerful leaders on the planet. And the West isn't happy about it.
But what worries U.S. officials is just how far the nuclear-armed countries could go to help each other out.
The U.S. is worried North Korea will give Russia weapons. And it says arms talks between Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un have already been actively advancing.
The U.S. believes what Russia is likely after is ammunition and shells, which it's running low on after more than 18 months of war in Ukraine.
In exchange, Russia could give North Korea what it wants most.
And for North Korea, a weapons deal could be a political and economic lifeline. What they may get in return is to have Russia share satellite and nuclear submarine technology, which, of course, would present concerns to U.S. allies in this region.
The only people that will see any positive benefit out of whatever's agreed at this meeting will be the people who want to see the world burn down.
So look, both countries want weapons, but Russia's war in Ukraine means it needs them now.
When it comes to Russian supplies, it's clear the country is digging deep into its stocks. Ukrainian officials say Russia is firing less artillery shells now than last year and using old ammunition, which suggests the Russian military is trying to conserve shells.
Ukraine has even been developing mock weapons, built at a fraction of the cost of the real thing, as a way of wasting Russian ammo.
What the Russians missed was this: a fake air defense system, part of an entire arsenal of decoys that has popped up around the country.
The idea being, every Russian missile that hits a fake target is a Ukrainian asset that survives another day. So Russians need a resupply, and Kim Jong-un might be able to provide that. North Korea has a pretty substantial stockpile of weapons, shells, rocket launchers, tanks, armored personnel carriers. A lot of it has just been sitting around since the Korean War of 1950. And according to military experts, it's all likely compatible with Soviet-era design. Now, it is old and may not be in perfect working condition. Back in June, Ukrainian soldiers got their hands on rockets made by North Korea and fired them at Russia. But there are accounts of the rockets being, quote, very unreliable and doing crazy things sometimes. Still, even if North Korean weapons don't dramatically change the outcome of the war in Ukraine, the sheer quantity of firepower could help sustain Russia's fight.
Russia has burned through so much of its stocks of old Cold War Soviet-style munitions. North Korea apparently has very large reserves of those too. So if those can actually replenish Russia's stocks, it means Russia can go back to its preferred means of waging war, with saturation of artillery, instead of having to adapt their tactics to shortages of munitions that they've been doing on the front line in Ukraine.
And what about North Korea? What Kim Jong-un likely sees in Russia is a pathway to bringing his country's military into the 21st century. Nuclear capability, satellite technology, improvements to long-range missiles. But that may be a steep ask. What North Korea needs, perhaps more immediately, is a lifeline.
Even before the Chinese authorities locked down the province which Wuhan is in, the North Koreans stopped all travel and sealed their borders.
The leadership has repeatedly refused offers of vaccines, including from COVAX, the global vaccine program.
North Korea is very much a country cut off from the rest of the world. It needs supplies, it needs food, and it needs humanitarian aid. Russia could offer that.
Its economy is suffering, and it needs fuel, it needs energy, and it needs food to feed its people, which it's been spectacularly bad at doing over recent years. All of these things can be supplied by Russia, so in effect, it's a match made in hell.
The West doesn't like the idea of Russia and North Korea meeting, in large part because of the instability they represent.
They do have these common interests in attacking the West as a whole, in attacking those parts of the world that believe in the rules-based international order, that disapprove of aggression and colonial wars of reconquest as Russia is waging at the moment. So that is bad news for all of those countries around the world.
And those countries have made a concerted effort to keep North Korea on a leash. Long-standing UN sanctions against North Korea's nuclear program has hampered its progress. But if Russia lends its technology, its firepower to North Korea's military, that whole effort, decades worth, could be compromised.
The Russians would effectively indicate that they are pulling out of the international sanctions regime.
That could undo years of progress. But there's also a much more immediate, perhaps more pragmatic consideration. The war in Ukraine is taxing and expensive. The West and Ukraine's allies have provided ammunition, vehicles, artillery, drones, training, supplies, money. And the fear is that if Russia strikes a deal with North Korea that builds out its arsenal, the war could stretch on indefinitely. The U.S. has been clear about the implications of these talks, warning that there will be consequences for North Korea if some kind of arms deal goes ahead.
Providing weapons to Russia is not going to reflect well on North Korea, and they will pay a price for this in the international community.
But here's the truth of the matter. It won't be easy for the U.S., or anyone really, to get a clear understanding of what these two leaders talk about behind closed doors. Remember, these aren't just two of the most isolated countries on the planet. They're also the most secretive. So the answer to the question of what comes next is anyone's guess.